All right, what's going on, guys? Kenney Conwell here, and I want to record this video about just your overall mindset. But to be clear, your mindset as it relates to abundance, success, and taking yourself to the next level. So, a lot of us have a lot. We focus so much on the external world, where we don't focus on the internal world, in our internal selves, and we've got our thoughts always going, and then we're talking, and then we're thinking things, and then we've all these things on the external. We're looking at stuff, but we're not really paying attention to what our true intentions are and what we're truly trying to get out of life. So the very first thing you have to do is be truthful and transparent with yourself. You have to be very, very clear about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and embrace all of that. And don't lie to yourself, because you can lie to Instagram, Facebook, social media, the boss, your parents, your friends, but you can't keep lying to yourself. And there's a lot of people out here that are under the mindset that, oh man, I want to look good on the external, but they're miserable. So what I want you to do is don't even worry about what the external world looks like, because all it is a reflection of you. The first thing you want to do is be truthful about where you are. So if you're a hothead, be transparent about you being a hothead. If you are sneaky or whatever the negative thing is or positive thing, be transparent about it. Then once you just accept your own truth, be willing to forgive yourself. So many of us have unspoken intentions about desires and things that we want from other people and situations, but because we weren't really clear about what we wanted, we walk around holding other people accountable for these unspoken intentions. So instead of doing that, you need to be very, very clear about, number one, what am I trying to achieve? Right? What is it that I want to get out of life? Then you want to find people who have demonstrated that they have the results that you're trying to get, and then start taking the necessary actions to become that person. Many of us focus on success, and we'll just go to financial success. And you look at somebody making, $50K a month, $100K a month, $1 million a year, and you're like, man, I want that. But many people don't really understand who that person had to become in order to achieve that. Before, I was talking about all money does is expand or amplify. So when you're looking at trying to achieve that level of success, whatever that level of success is, instead of looking out at the actual result, you have to look at, okay, what steps do I need to do? Who do I need to become? What books do I need to read? What type of habits do I need to create in order to sustain that lifestyle? The only difference between those people who are successful, quote unquote, financially successful, and those individuals who are not, is that the people who are quote unquote successful are too busy doing the things that they may not like doing, but it's the thing that's going to get them the result. Having said all of that, it's very, very important that once you've identified where you want to go, okay, because where you are and where you want to go, there's a gap there, and you're in the middle. So once you start telling yourself the truth, because on the gram or on social media or whatever, there's people can be looking like they have something, but they're not really sure about the gap. So when you're going through that process of, oh, I want to make $1 million or $500,000, this is the goal. This is where you are. Be truthful about where you are. Be truthful about your strengths and your weaknesses. And then along this journey of getting here, there's going to be a lot of discoveries and things you're going to learn about yourself that you didn't know. And then you'll be able to apply those principles in order to get the goal. And that's really the key thing to it. And the other thing to kind of transition this out of just being very, very clear about what you want and where you are, being truthful and transparent with yourself, forgiving yourself, not holding people accountable for unspoken intentions that you didn't even realize that you had. Once you get all of that stuff out, you now open yourself up to have understanding of your emotions, and your feelings and your desires. And I'll wrap it up with this. Many of us, there's been a couple of times where you're like, man, why ain't listen to myself? You had this idea to do this business, or you had this idea to talk to this person, or whatever it was. Or you was like, man, I should have did this, I didn't listen to myself. And every time you don't listen to yourself, you're like, man, why didn't I do it? Well, what you got to understand is that anytime you feel something in your gut and you have your feelings, that's your intuition. That's connected to the infinite. That's God speaking through you. But if you're not doing the daily discipline of meditation and personal development and just really doing those things to like quiet your mind, you won't be able to listen to yourself, and then you end up kicking yourself like, why I didn't listen to myself? So I say that to say it's really important for you to understand three things. Number one, your emotions. You are a human being. We're all human. We get emotionally hijacked all the time. Our emotions change like a roller coaster. It's just in our nature. So you've got to be able to separate your emotions from your feelings. Your feelings is the truth. Your feelings will never lie to you. Especially women are way better at this than men. Women are very intuitive, and they're really more in tune with their feelings and their emotions. But you have to understand that your feelings are going to tell you the truth, but it's separate than your emotions. So case in point, you can be, you can feel someone's energy, that their energy may or may not be good, but you may not be emotional about it, right? You may not be emotional at the fact that, hey, look, this particular scenario, you know, like my feelings is telling me that this is the bad person, but I'm not emotional about that. But my feelings is telling me that, hey, look, I should have bought Bitcoin or whatever the case is, right? Your feelings could have told you to do that, but you might be emotional now because you're like, man, I should have bought it, and I'm a little upset. But what I'm saying though is being able to make that clear distinction, because someone can cuss you out, or you can cuss somebody out, and you can be mad, you can be pissed off, whatever the case is, and be in your feelings, or you can be in your emotions, really. But then your feelings might be telling you, your higher self, that's really what I'm getting at, might be telling you, like, man, you probably shouldn't have did that. You probably could have took the high road on that person. You probably didn't have to go through that. But in the moment, your emotions hijacked you. So you got your emotions, you got your feelings, but then you have your desires. Now, your desires are typically, if you're male or female, you're going to have these desires. And this, I'm not trying to make this a relationship thing, but what I will say is, like, you may have, for guys and women, you may have physical desires. And then your emotions might be one place, but then your feelings is telling you deep down inside that you had no business doing this. So you've got to be able to know, okay, am I moving based off my emotions? Am I moving based off my desires? Or am I moving based off my feelings? And your feelings are always going to tell you the truth if you allow them to, but you've got to be able to move based off that gut, that feeling, that intuition, that God-like thing, because we all have the ability to tap into the universal subconscious, and all the knowledge that's out here, it's available to us, but we can't tap into that if our mindsets and we're getting emotionally hijacked, and we're not able to, in that moment, take a step back and be like, okay, what are you trying to tell me? What is the universe trying to show me? What am I trying to get from this? And then being able to synthesize that. And this is why I have this right here, right? So this is my journal. And on a daily basis, man, I write down my thoughts, my desires, my feelings. I meditate, and it allows me to really quiet all the noise to figure out, okay, what is going to be the best decision for me? And then intuitively, I get the answer, right? I always get the answer. So the deeper part of what I'm saying about being successful is just really just looking in terms of the inner world and doing that inner work. Because there's going to be days where you get upset. There's going to be days where you want to cuss somebody out. There's going to be days you're in your feelings. There's going to be days where you're in your emotions. There's going to be days where your desires are driving you to do one thing or another. And it's going to be all this conflicting information. And not to mention you got this voice in the back of your head saying, nah, you shouldn't do that. And all of this stuff. That's going to happen. Your ability to quiet all of that and make the right decision is based off just the discipline of knowing that, hey, look, if this is going to be where I'm going, and I know exactly what I'm trying to get, and I know where I'm at now, I know where I'm trying to go, and I've got all these different things pulling at me, what exactly am I going to do to get there? You just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other and realizing that you are going to fail. It's okay. It's no such thing as failure. There's no such thing as losses. There's only lessons. So you've got to take those lessons and propel it forward and be very, very clear about what your intentions are and communicate your intentions with integrity and honesty to other people, and understand that everything that you're doing is a good seed that's either going to reap you a good harvest or, well, I'm not going to say a seed. Everything that you do is going to return back to you. So if you're putting out bad energy and bad feelings and all that stuff, you're going to get more of that. If you're putting out good energy and good feelings and all that stuff, you're going to get more of that. So you just got to be really, really clear about that. So I know I went on like kind of like a mini tangent of a tangent about this whole success thing, but it's more than just income, right? That's the thing I want you to understand. So when you start to really make the money, you start to really examine things more, because that money took accurate thought to create. And it took being able to go through the failures. It took being able to understand, man, I was in my feelings that day. Why I cussed that person out? Why I yelled at that person? I could have approached that situation totally different. Did I respond emotionally? How do I not respond emotionally? How do I have emotional intelligence? And again, it's all about when we say that person who made $1 million, you know, you may respond at a certain way or be okay at a certain way at a certain level, but the higher you go in the level, the more it takes on yourself, and you can't go out. You have to go within. Now, it's okay to have a really good success circle and all that stuff, but still, you have to go within, right? Go within before you go without. I mean, go within before you go out is what I'm trying to say. Because if you go out and you try to seek, and these people are putting on, and they may or may not be, or these situations may or may not be the best thing, then you're like, man, where do I go? Right? So always seek the truth. The Bible is a really, really powerful book. Take a look at that, read it, read some of those verses, some of that wisdom, but not just the Bible, right? Read things, pray, meditate. You know, one book I would encourage everybody to listen to is a couple of books, but one book that really gets into this stuff is The Heart of the Soul. And I might even have the book right here. I think I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's right here. Let me pull it up. The Heart of the Soul, Emotional Awareness. Like, this book is powerful. Like, being able to be emotionally aware, because your emotions is a constant thing. And in the school, in life, we're always in session. Like, you're always in the life school. And a lesson is repeated until it is learned. So if you keep finding yourself going into the same exact situations all the time with certain people or certain situations, certain individuals, whatever the case is, and you keep getting the same outcome, which is not the outcome that you want, then that just means you have not learned that lesson, and life is going to present it to you one more time, and it's going to be up to you to figure out, do I want to pass this class or do I want to fail this class? And only you will be able to determine that. But that's it, guys. That's all I got. You know, I want you all to be successful, but start from within. Be very, very truthful and transparent with where you are. Don't lie to yourself. Figure out where you want to go, and then take the necessary steps to make it happen. How long was that?